We are going to get going with today's session. And thank you, Leslie, for starting that. Today's session is about how to develop your study skills. We're going to start with a bit of a technical check, just to make sure you're all okay. I'll do a short presentation. We'll have about 15 minutes for questions. I just want to say we've called it how to develop your study skills. I don't want you to take from that the idea that you're not good at studying or you're not already great. We know you are. It's just that we also know if we give you a little bit of support and a little bit of guidance about higher education, there's no telling what you're going to achieve. So that's my job, it's the job of my team, and that's the point of this discussion today. But let's get on with the presentation. So today it's about developing study skills. I'm Dory, I'm Head of Taught Student Development in the Institute for Academic Development here at the university. I'm just going to say we're going to talk quite a lot about the support that my team offers you. It's all free to students, so please don't feel like you might have to pay for it. It's all completely free to you as students, so do take advantage of it. Definitely get in touch with us if we can help you at all. I'm going to talk about how to get support because I think it's really important to establish that it is normal to ask for support. So that's what I'm going to kick off with, is how to get support. I'm going to quickly cover some key aspects of learning in higher education that students tend to tell us that they're concerned about. I'm going to talk about what you need to do for you to make sure you're getting a really good academic start. And then we'll have our 15 minutes question and answer. So the first thing I want to talk about is Study Hub. Study Hub is where my Taught Student Development team, who are all academic development specialists, have produced lots of resources, study strategies, hybrid learning information. Andy has put them up in the chat area. Everything they think with their expertise that could help you, they have put there. So your first port of call, if you're looking for support from us, should be Study Hub to see, have you already written something about this? Can I gain it? Can I look at something? Can I download a resource? What can I do? There's also the Study Hub Twitter account. And we use that throughout the year to keep you updated about workshops, new resources, new blogs, things that we're planning. So if you're on Twitter, please do follow us. The next thing is workshops. All our workshops for semester 1 will be online. We have completely reworked all of our workshops so that they are suitable for an online format. We've changed how long they are. They're shorter, more concise topics. We've looked at how we're going to interact with you online. So, be assured they're all really adapted for that online environment. And you can just go online and book workshops. They're booking really, really quickly. We have expanded the number of students we can have on our workshops, but they're still booking out really quickly. So please do have a look at those and see if there's something you want to attend. Next thing I want to talk about is a study skill consultation. It's half an hour, one-to-one consultation with one of the academic developers in the team. They're all really friendly, supportive. They've worked in academia and university for a long time, so they have huge experience of learning and development in higher education. The consultations are taking place online in semester 1. You book online. It's just a chance for you to talk about how you're learning, the strategies you're using. Is there something different you could be doing? What advice could someone else give you? It's not about discipline specific, so we won't be able to talk to you about engineering or philosophy, but we can talk about just how you're learning. Andy, could you put up a link for the study skills consultations in the chat? But I'm also going to just quickly talk about the main ways of learning and what might give you a bit of an advantage in that. So before lectures, do the essential reading. You'll get a reading list which has essential reading and recommended reading. The essential reading is the reading that you must do. The recommended reading is other reading that you could read around the subject. Look at the lecture topic, look at the outline, look at the learning outcomes. Think about what the lecture is aiming to give you, what you will walk away from those lectures knowing. And think about how you plan to take notes. Really important to take good notes. We've got a lot of support on Study Hub. We run workshops on taking notes. You know, bullet points, mind maps, I don't know, whatever's going to work for you, but make sure you're taking notes that do work for you. After the lectures, look over your notes. Do they make sense? Was there something you missed? If the lecture's recorded, you could maybe go back and just look at that again. After you get to the end of a series of lectures, write a topic summary. So pull all the information together, pull out the themes. It'll be much easier for you then to start connecting all of the different bits of knowledge that you're getting. Jennifer, whether or not lectures are recorded will really depend. Obviously, a lot of the teaching will be online just now. For some schools, recording doesn't really fit with how they teach. For others, it does. So it'll vary by school, but your school will inform you if the lectures are recorded. And a lot of them are recorded. So before tutorials are generally smaller group activities. Some of you will be on postgraduate programs that are small enough that actually the lectures are kind of like tutorials and you have a very interactive experience. Others will be in larger groups, and then the tutorials will be where you get that interactivity. So before the tutorial, make sure you do the reading and that you have to think about it, but also think about some questions. Tutorials are really great places to get practice in asking questions. And you know, there's nothing wrong with writing down the questions in advance that you want to ask so that they're there. It's very easy for you to do it. After the tutorials, you know, think what you're going to do with it. Compare it to the notes from the lectures. Is it sparking off any thoughts for you? Write a summary of what you've heard and think of questions for the next tutorial. Get in the practice of asking questions in the tutorials. Prioritize your reading. As I said, there'll be compulsory texts and articles. There'll be the recommended reading, and you don't have to read all of that. You read what's going to fill in the gaps, what you find interesting. You might share out the reading with other people and all come back and discuss what you've read. You know, just make sure you do the compulsory reading. Reading effectively is not just about being fast and getting through things. It's about why am I reading it? How is this contributing to what I know? How am I connecting it to what I know? Effective reading as well. This is all on our website. SQ3R is a method for reading, which is quite effective. There's also reading notes and reading record frames, where every time you read something, you then can go back, and just as you finished it, you fill in the reading notes or the reading record. That is an amazing way to consolidate the knowledge in your head, and then when you come back later, those notes will make it much easier for you. Genuinely get into the habit of filling in, even if it's just a bit of paper that you write on after everything that you've read, what thoughts it sparked, you know, how it links to other things, what questions you're going to ask after it. Get into that habit of questioning everything. Effective studying, what works? Self-testing, so quizzing yourself to get high marks, really, or asking someone else to test you. But also the main thing is this concept of distributed practice. So spread your study out over time. You know, don't leave it till just before the assignment's due or just before the exams. Do a little bit every day, and it will be much easier to keep on top of it. Yep, we'll put in a link to the sheets as well. Andy, would you be able to do that? We reference to acknowledge that someone else has said what we are putting into our work. It demonstrates what we've read, allows people to understand the path that we've taken. Every subject will have the style that they want to use. Again, it will be in your handbook that you'll get from the school. So just check that, make sure you understand how you're supposed to reference. There are a thing called reference managers. In the Institute for Academic Development, we run workshops in how to use all of these reference managers. The university has free access. It's not that one is better than the other. It's just different people like different ones. So do have a look at them and see which one's going to work for you. Okay, now we have to breathe. We have to pause. Whew. We have to just understand that this is a really super exciting time. It's a big time in your life. It's okay to find it slightly overwhelming. We're just going to breathe because actually between us, we've got this and we're fine. What you do to get started is you read your course information. So your course handbook from your school, you read that and you understand it because pretty much every question is answered in that course handbook. Plan your time. Make sure you plan in time for hobbies, for friends, for families. You cannot study 100% of the time. You really will not be effective if you do. Make sure you've prioritized your reading list and make sure you know what you're going to read first and what interests you. And obviously, you've all studied before, so what worked, what didn't, would you change anything? Maybe have that consultation with one of my team and just talk about it. But also think about what else can you do, what voluntary work, are there placements, training that you want to get done. Think about what you would like to do with this time that's not just about your studying. These are the essential things. You must know formatting for your assignments and set up your documents so that they are formatted in the way your school or your discipline asks you to format them. You must get a referencing manager. It will help you so much in the long run. I cannot tell you how important a good reference manager tool is. You have to understand the marking criteria. Importantly, you have to not be afraid of feedback. So when you get feedback on your work, don't be offended by it. Don't take it personally. Don't assume that it's a criticism of you. It is just someone with a bit more experience giving you their thoughts on how you can improve. So get your feedback, read it thoroughly. If you do not understand how to use it in order to improve, ask. Go back and ask your program director or your personal tutor or the person who gave you the feedback, see what they say. So I'm going to leave you with a quote by Zig Ziglar, which is an amazing name. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I'm going to just leave you with that thought because you're all going to be great. You've all got what it takes to do brilliantly in your time with us. You just have to start and give it a really good go and see where it takes you.